Welcome the weekend, everybody. It's time for day 5 of our Ancient Inheritance walkthrough. We've defeated the priest on floor number 2, so it's time to advance to floor number 3. Now, I only have a little bit of provisions left, so this is actually the tail end of yesterday, followed by the beginning of today. Now, I am on the blue team, so I'm following this pathing. This map will be available, linked in the description. You do not have to follow this map, it's just there in case you want to use it. There'll also be blank maps linked in the description for your convenience to make your own pathed maps. Now, on floor number 3, it's time to start collecting chests that are on the way. Chests are pretty decent value on this floor, so it's a good time to start your looting. I wouldn't recommend going way out of your way to collect chests, but if they're along the way, go ahead and take them. And if there are normal monster fights along the way and you have extra units and provisions to spare, go ahead and kill off some normal monsters. Now, I for one don't have a lot of provisions to spare, so I'm not going to be killing normal monsters on this floor. I'm going to be advancing as far as I can to try to get my guild to floor number 4. Now, one of my jobs is to kill the mini-boss on the left-hand side, so I'm moving in that direction. Now, in walking, I earned enough experience to level up. I'm going to take my warriors up to level 9, and the reason for that is I've got the points for it, and there's a warrior statue right around the corner. If you plan on using a statue, make sure you've maxed out that class before you grab the statue, because grabbing the statue is just like normally leveling. It will increase the amount of points it takes to go up to the next level, so you always want to make sure that you can't go up any higher levels before you grab a statue, or you kind of waste the statue. So in grabbing this statue, my warriors go up to level 8, plus the wolf relic that I have that gives me level 9 warriors. This is as far as I go today. I think tomorrow I will get provision refreshes and I can advance closer towards the left side boss. Now, Friday has rolled around and my guild has already taken out the left side boss, so there's no reason to progress there. I checked the relic shrine, but the relics I have, I want to keep my wolf gauntlet. Old Nib you can't replace, and though I could replace the mage book, I'm kind of hanging on to it, especially since I accidentally grabbed that mage statue a couple floors ago. I'm toying with the idea of actually leveling up mages to see how they work in the priest fights later on. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this relic and just continue to move along my path. Now, it's never not a good time to grab the unknown scrolls, so I'm going to check this out, see what we can get from the scroll this time. Well, I guess I'm losing 2 heroes, because I don't really have any other options other than just giving up, and I'll take the experience points in the epic charm. Hopefully it doesn't take out 2 important heroes. Ugh, got rid of Acades and Luna. 2 pretty important heroes. Oh well. Now, it looks like the red team is making progress on that spinning top boss. That is not my job. My job's on the blue team is to head north and start blazing a trail. So I'm going to start heading towards the mana lift. Now, this is a lot of land to cover with just a lot of walking, so I'm going to speed it up. The only thing other than walking along my path I'm doing is grabbing the chests that are along the way. I skipped that relic shrine because, again, I don't have room for more relics. Another chest to grab, and now I'm at a Soul Weaver statue. So I am really close to leveling. If you look at the experience in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm just like 1 or 2 steps away. So even though it feels like a little bit of a waste, I'm just going to walk back and forth here 2 steps, and that's going to get me the experience that I need to level up. And now I can raise the level of my Soul Weavers, and I still don't have room for another relic, so again I'm going to skip the relic shrine, sadly. But my Soul Weavers can go up a level, so I'm going to level them. Now my Soul Weavers can't be leveled anymore. I have the ingredients to do it, but I'm capped because you can't increase your class higher than your current level. So since I am capped, it's a good time to use the statue. The statue will let me push above the current cap level. And I've got 23 provisions. That should be enough for me to reach that Golem mini-boss and try to help progress us forward. Always a little painful to pass up on these relics, but there's no point on wasting provisions on something I'm not going to collect. Okay, so there's a book up there. I'm going to grab that book because the experience points is nice and I will still have enough provisions to make it to the fight. I don't quite have enough to get the book and the chest. Yeah, that would put me just short of being able to do the fight. So I'm going to grab the book for the experience, then I'm going to do the fight, and then it's only one step away to grab that chest. And that's what I'll start with tomorrow, is grabbing that chest and crossing the bridge. So there's my 400 experience, and if I walk over, I'll have 10 provisions left. That's more than enough to do this 6 provision fight. Now, the Golem team is a pretty straightforward fight. He combat ready pushes himself every time he's attacked. Every third time he's attacked, he counters. He has a 75% chance to defense break. He inflicts injuries. And he has scaling speed and attack the longer the fight goes on, so he hits harder and harder and harder. And dual attacks don't trigger the counter passive, so it's fine to take dual attack spamming units like Kitty Clarissa. I think this is probably one of the best Golem teams out there. I'll post a couple other Golem teams in the description, but I really like this one. I'm going to start it out with Fire Ken, who's a fantastic DPS in this because he packs his own defense break on 2 different skills. So he'll be my defense break spammer. Saw the magic word, the boss counterattacks. I'm picking Rowana for my healer. Kitty Clarissa will be my dual attack unit, and she will also be there to help cleanse those defense breaks with her S2. And I'm going to go with Conqueror Lilius on this one. Since the boss strips, I'm worried about units like Singelica and Camilla who are dependent on a buff to be able to counterattack. Even though there's a pretty good chance that Conqueror Lilius dual attacks with the healer, that's okay too, because that will put up shields. Put Conqueror Lilius on Border Coin to speed her along. I'm giving Rowana the Stella Harpa to help her with cleanses. Ken I have on Jacko's Symbol to maximize damage. Jacko's Symbol only procs when there is a debuff, but the boss is likely to always have debuffs. Make sure you turn auto off, or you waste a turn like I just did. I hate that auto is always on. I wish they would fix that bug here. Nowhere else in the game does it automatically start you with auto on, but it still does in Ancient Inheritance. So there's 2 hits. I got the defense break, which is really nice. I'm not really hurt, so I don't want to use my heal yet, so I'm just going to use the S1. It'll proc the counter, but I shouldn't really take any damage. So there's hit number 3, which triggers the Golem's counter, which just counter heals through Rowana. The S2 has a really good chance to defense break. If Ken has Vigor up, the S2 is a guaranteed defense break, which he should always have Vigor up between his own passive off his S3 and Conqueror Lily's spamming Vigor. I'm using the S2 here less for the pushback and barriers and more to proc Border Coin to try to get my speed up. Conqueror Lilius is a warrior, so she does pretty good damage on her own, and Border Coin times 3 is going to let her fly and take lots and lots of turns. So there's attack number 3 again, and there's another heal from the Golem. Thank you for that. And that's really all there is to this team. I'm going to save the S3 because there's no defense break. There, I got the break on S1. And this is just a non-stop series of counter spamming, getting healed by the Golem's counter attack, and rushing down the boss on damage. Anytime you're able to soul burn Fire Ken, you should do it if the defense break is up. Fire Ken has a extra attack when you soul burn. And here it looks like he's just about to do it. So Kitty Clarissa is great when she transforms. She gets rid of those defense breaks, which are about the only thing that can really slow this team down. So there was a 43k hit from Ken. I thought I had burn ready. Well, I'll use the S3. This will refresh my own vigor and do really good damage. So his S3 into a defense break was 60k damage.
Feel my sword. I won't fall.
And with this S2, I should have my border coin maxed out, so I don't really need to worry about non-attack skills for Lilius anymore, but the S2 pushback giving you barriers is really, really useful.
Come, I'll take your life.
And the S3 putting Vigor on everybody will also help with survivability.
Feel my sword.
Okay, Ken's dual attack should be ready here. So you can burn his S2, get really good damage, and with Vigor a guaranteed break, and then he takes another turn, and you can throw down another attack. Substantial amount of damage out of a unit that you don't expect to do a lot of damage.
This is it. I'll help.
I'm going to speed this fight up because I think you get the swing of it. Series of dual attacks, healing from Rowana. Eventually the Golem's damage starts to outpace Rowana's ability to heal, and he starts beating you down, but it does take a while. Rowana's S3 can prolong things even longer. He'll eventually strip it, but it's a solid heal. Remember, you can always soul burn Rowana to apply barriers to everyone and help reduce the incoming damage as well. Now, if you don't have this team, another really, really high scoring team would be Tam, Asaria, Sirmia, and either Rowana or Acades. You can do a lot with that team. It's probably the second highest scoring team, I think, and it's one that I would run if this team, if I didn't have this team available. Oh, and if you are going to pick Tamarin, I do recommend you take your Ranger class up to at least level 5 or 6. Because Asaria just dies so early on, she doesn't get a chance to do much more than reset Tamarin on turn 1. So for a 2 million HP boss, we've taken this thing down to almost 1.4 million off of its health. So if there's a better team out there for fighting the Golems, I haven't found it yet. Tundra recommended you might want to try Fire Litica to help control the Golem. That's got some possibility to it as well, but again, I didn't build Rangers, so I can't really try that strat. With 4 provisions left, this pretty much ends my run for today. I'll start tomorrow by grabbing that chest, crossing the bridge, and heading over to do the Dark Warden fights. I hope this walkthrough is helping you advance your guild and your own progress. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section, and as always, like and subscribe. Have a great weekend, everybody.